Your level of personal development is, what is your daily ritual like that's enabling you to become the person that you need to be to thrive in any economy, to thrive in the midst of any adversity? And at that time in my life, I wasn't doing any personal development because I was desperate to make money. That's all I was trying to do because I was drowning. And so I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want level 10 success. My level of personal development is like a 2, maybe a 3 or 4 on a good day. And if you're watching the screen, I believe this is the disconnect for most of us, unless you're doing your miracle morning.
Hey guys, Wally Elibieri. All right, so what is 24/7 mindset? Most times when you hear 24/7, you're thinking what? 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, just grinding, hustling. You know, I learned over time, a 24-year career in mortgage and multiple other businesses that I own is, unfortunately, you'll get burnt out. I became an absent father, I became an absent husband, and I became a poor business leader because I was trying to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, trying to build a business, maintain a business. When I learned how to work smarter, not just harder, by doing things the best way it could be done, instead of just simply doing my best, I learned how to work only 24 hours a week, 7 months a year, while I got paid from the business residually 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can do the same. Welcome to the show. So we are live with one of the most influential, inspirational people I've ever met. So this is Hal Elrod, my friends. This is not only somebody I've looked up to very much, somebody that has been so gracious with their time, their energy and their wisdom, but also, believe it or not, I am as actually his mortgage lender. So the Hal Elrod, little old Wally in Dallas here, actually closes mortgages. So welcome to the show, Hal.
Hey, Wally, I love you, brother. It is so great to be here, and thank you. I was just complimenting your background. I was like, man, you are next level. I'm so proud of you for your book, and it's just great to see you. The first time I met you, you were on stage at GoBundance, and you won as the best speaker of the event. And I spoke at the same event, so I think I was a little disgruntled when we first met, but I've grown to love you, man.
This is going to be the best real soundbite ever in history. Yes, that was my claim to fame. But yeah, it's what Hal's referring to is we're part of the same men's accountability group called GoBundance. And first you kind of share your story with your table. Then the table picks the best story. Then you go in front of the stage. There were like 300 entrepreneur, wealthy men, and you're sharing your story. Candidly, I'm not sure if you know about it, Hal, but that was the first time in 2013 that I ever shared my story publicly. And where it was, I was just literally like snot coming down my face, bawling the whole entire time on stage. People picked me, I'm sure, because they just felt sorry for me. Hal was a lot more polished, and he wasn't crying as much as I was.
No, it's funny. Actually, I try to get in touch with my emotions because I find if I allow myself to, as a speaker, like I cry in a lot of interviews now, and not intentionally, but I share things that normally I wouldn't share because sometimes I can't keep my emotions when I talk about them. But now I've just gone, hey, that's actually one of the most effective ways to really connect with other human beings when you're vulnerable and you're real and you're authentic. And then it gives them permission to be the same and to see your humanity. And so, yeah, man, no, the student has become the teacher, and I've learned a lot from you.
I appreciate it. So what I would love to kind of dive into. So one of my favorite things you've ever done was at the end of the year, you'd have your best year ever planning. So right now it's, November going into December.
Yeah.
And talk to me a little bit about, so how did that vision come about? How have you impacted people and the listeners right now, the viewers that are going to be watching this, for them to have the best 2024 they've ever had? Like, what should they be doing right now?
Yeah, a couple things. One is make December the best month of your life. That to me is one of the most important components, and meaning most of us go into December, and now we might be working towards a goal. So maybe we're still working hard. We're trying to achieve a year-end goal, but we experience typically between Christmas and New Year's what I call a holiday hangover, right? Which is where we we create, or I should say, we build an arsenal of bad habits. So you think about, if you're preparing for the best anything of your life, let's say it's a marathon, right? You're preparing for a marathon. You're leading up to the marathon, you're going to put yourself in a peak physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual state consistently day after day after day to strengthen your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual capacities, so that on marathon day, you're like, I'm ready. I've got momentum. Yet most people between Christmas and New Year's do the exact opposite. And so to me, it's like, hey, if you want 2024 to be the best year of your life, how can you start thinking about making December of 2023 the best month of your life, so that you go into the new year with momentum, and don't get caught up on like, oh man, I've got to be ready December 1st. It's the exact time frame is arbitrary. It's the idea, though, that you go into the new year by maintaining some disciplined habits. Doesn't mean you can't eat a little more, but don't get out of control. Don't sleep in. I'll give you, for me personally, the miracle morning, that is my secret to success, if you will, right? That's my life's work. For me, I never abandon it. Like last night, my parents are visiting from out of town, and my wife's texted me like, "You're going to bed already?" I go, "Sweetie," I said, "you can go to bed whenever you." She's like, "So I'm staying up with your parents? They're your parents, I mean, I love them." But I said, "Yeah," but I said, it doesn't change my habits. Like, just because I don't use the holidays as an excuse, I don't use companies in town. I say, hey, everybody, I love you. I'm going to spend as much time with you as I can up until 8 p.m. Then I'm going to go read, and I'm going to do my evening ritual. I'm going to wind down. I'm going to go to bed. And so it's like just treating December like you would treat any time of your life when you want to maintain positive mindset and positive habits.
That's awesome, Hal. Absolutely awesome. I mean, I think you've definitely unlocked the ability to be able to help someone get out of their own way. So what I mean by that is, miracle morning to me is how does it position you in the morning, throughout your day to like stay on track. And I think you knew this, but October a year ago, so October 2022, I was at Sales Mastery, won the Lifetime Achievement Award, Mortgage Hall of Fame, and the day out the Osbornes came out, and the day of the speech, before I go on stage, David and I go play pickleball with our families, and then I ruptured my Achilles right there in the middle of Palm Springs. And then you come back from the event, and then you have surgery, then you have 6 weeks on a scooter, 6 weeks on crutches, 6 weeks on a boot. My second day out of the boot in physical therapy, I re-ruptured it again. And then you got to start all over again, right? And those 4 months of your life, this is gone. And I remember rereading The Miracle Morning again in March of this year. And I thought about you a ton, man. I thought about you in the car crash. I thought about you and with cancer. I thought about you and just getting out of my own way. And I remember one thing that you said, it's like, when the 2008 crash happened and you got so down on yourself, but then somebody challenged you to go to work out, just to go for a run. And I remember you said you told me sort of like 6 years ago, and you just went on a run, and your mindset started changing. And so as we're, God willing, I don't wish anybody to rupture the Achilles, but the mortgage business has been tough. It's definitely been hard, and industries have been hard, and it's been a tough 2023. I think we're all still very hungover from 2020 and 21, where rates were super low and it was so easy to get business. Yeah. But how do you feel today going into 2024? They can just go on that mental run, go on that spiritual journey where they get out of their own way.
Yeah. For me, the 2008 was the last time we were experiencing, something similar to what we're experiencing now. And 2008, I, like millions of Americans, was blaming the economy for my business started to fail. And in a matter of 6 months, I lost over half of my clients. I was a coach. I was coaching salespeople and entrepreneurs and business owners. And in 6 months, I lost over half of my clients, therefore half of my income. That was my sole source of income. And I couldn't pay the bills. And my house was foreclosed on. I went deep into debt. I went from being a Dave Ramsey debt-free, pay off the credit cards every month to a $52,000 credit card balance on my personal credit cards in 6 months. And it was, month after month, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And that is where the Miracle Morning was born. As you know, a Jim Rohn quote changed everything for me. And Jim Rohn simply said, your level of success, and this applies, by the way, to every area of your life, not just your mortgage or business success, but your success in terms of your health, your relationships, your happiness, etc. Jim said, your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development. And when I heard that, it was an aha moment where I immediately quantified it. And I said, okay, if my level of success won't exceed my level of personal development, that's two questions that would follow that. What level of success do I want? And what is my level of personal development? Because they need to be equal. Yeah. And the answer, I think it's true for all of us, is I want level 10 success on a scale of 1 to 10. I think there's an innate drive for all of us to create the most extraordinary life that we can and be happy and fulfilled. We all want level 10 success in every area of life. But when I assessed my level of personal development, and I would invite everybody, I would invite you all to do this right now. And let me define it so that you can assess yours. To me, your level of personal development is, what is your daily ritual like that's enabling you to become the person that you need to be to thrive in any economy, to thrive in the midst of any adversity? And at that time in my life, I wasn't doing any personal development because I was desperate to make money. That's all I was trying to do because I was drowning. And so I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, I want level 10 success. My level of personal development is like a 2, maybe a 3 or 4 on a good day. And if you're watching the screen, I believe this is the disconnect for most of us, unless you're doing your Miracle Morning, right? But we all want level 10 success, but very few people on the planet have a level 10 personal development ritual that enables them to consistently show up at their best, optimize their mental and emotional state and their physical and emotional and mental and spiritual capacities every day. And so for me, the epiphany was, I need to go figure out what the world's most successful people do for personal development. I need to create the ultimate personal development routine or ritual, do it every day. And theoretically, that should enable me to become a better version of myself towards a level 10, so I can create the success I want in my life. And I'll wrap that story up with how it ended. I did my very first Miracle Morning the next day. I was never done one before. I made it up. It was assembling the 6 most timeless, proven personal development practices. And within 2 months, I more than doubled my income. In the middle of the Great Recession in 2008, the economy continued to get worse. But instead of pointing at the economy and going, my business is failing because of the economy that I have no control over, I'm losing clients because of the economy I have no control over, I turned my finger around and I went, how do I become the person that can thrive in the Great Recession? And I figured it out. The Miracle Morning enabled me to double my income. And then, the rest is history, as they say. But so my point is, how do I feel about 2024? I've been waiting to share this part of the story since 2008, knowing that recessions are cyclical. And the next time one would come about, I'd be able to tell people, hey, I had lost money for 6 months when I blamed the economy. When I took complete responsibility, my income doubled in 2 months. And I believe that I'm not special. I simply did these 6 practices that make up the Miracle Morning that enabled me to develop myself and show up in a way that I was able to increase my income. And yeah.
Well, I think absolutely. And also not only puts you in the right frame of mind to be able to give your best to your day, but then also it puts you and attracts the right people around you that want that positivity.
Yeah.
So we're both fathers. How have you brought the Miracle Morning to your kids? Like, so from one father to another, like if someone's watching this, okay, great, I'm going to do this for myself. How do you impact your family with this?
So, first and foremost, by example, right? Like when I created the Miracle Morning, it was to get out of debt and turn my finances around, and it worked, right? But it was about me. I didn't even have kids at the time. So, right, it was all about me. Now I realize the Miracle Morning enables me to become the father that my kids deserve, to become the husband that my wife deserves. In other words, it enables me to show up at my best for those I love and those I lead. And I'll say that I would hope that you and me, we're the first person that we should be loving and leading, right? So when you love yourself, you lead yourself in the morning, you can show up for the other people in your life. So that's the big picture kind of philosophical way that it matters. Now, in a tangible way, I have, for example, let me give just a quick crash course for anyone that doesn't know the Miracle Morning. It's made of 6 practices that are known by the acronym SAVERS, SAVERS. The first S is for silence. That's your meditation, your prayer, your intentional, purposeful, peaceful silence to clear your mind, listen to the wisdom of what, God, your subconscious, whatever. The A is for affirmations. And we're going to circle back to that because I use affirmations with my kids. But affirmations, not the way that we've been taught where you affirm like, I'm a money magnet and money flows to me effortlessly. But you actually affirm 3 things every day. Number 1, what are you committed to as a dad, as a spouse, as a mortgage broker, as a friend, as a leader, in your health, in your finances, right? Every area of my life, I follow these 3 steps. Number 1, what are you committed to in each area of your life that matters? Number 2, why is it a must for you? And number 3, which specific actions will you take and when? That third step is where the rubber meets the road. It's where, okay, I know what I'm committed to. I'm fueling that commitment with the whys, the meanings of the meaningful reasons that I'm doing it for me, for my spouse, for my family. But last but not least, I'm clarifying and affirming which actions I'll take and when. What am I doing Monday through Friday, right? To actually make sure I'm reaching these goals and becoming the person I need to be for myself, for my family, for my finances. And so the V is for visualization. The world's greatest athletes use visualization to mentally rehearse showing up at their best before they step on the court. And we should do the same before we step into the office or engage with a client. Visualize yourself performing at your best in the morning, mentally rehearse it. The E is for exercise, get the heart rate going in the morning. The R is for reading, and the final S is for scribing, or it's a fancy word for journaling or writing. And what I do is every morning I have a self-imposed rule around my reading. I'm not allowed to read a business book, which are the ones I'm usually the most excited about reading, until I've read a book, a family book, a book on parenting, or a book on marriage. I have to read at least 5 pages out of a book on parenting or marriage to earn the right to grab my business book that I've been engrossed in off of the shelf. And that does 2 things for me. Number 1, it's a reminder, oh yeah, family is my number 1 priority. They're my number 1 priority. Like just the act of I'm not even allowed to think about business until I've focused on being better for my family. And then the second benefit is I'm actually reading books, learning things that I get to implement throughout the day to show up better for my wife, to engage more impactfully with my kids, and so on and so forth. And then the other piece is we have Elrod family values and affirmations that we read every night at dinner. We co-created them, and we read them at dinner every night, and that keeps our family focused on the things that matter in terms of how we love each other and show up for each other, how we live our faith, how we serve others, so on and so forth. So those are some ways that I use my Miracle Morning to show up better for my family.
That's awesome, man. I think, that's going to be an awesome touch. And if anybody gets anything from that, I don't know how we're going to top it in the next 7 minutes left on the call, but I think that to me means the world. Because how old are your kids now?
11. My daughter is 14 going on 25. Yeah. And my son's 11 going on 11.
Yeah. So Braden now is 18. His last senior in high school. Wow. And Alexander is 16. He's a junior in high school.
Wow.
And once they're probably like 12, 13 years old, they stop doing what I do. Stop doing what I say, and they will only do what I do.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat to okay, so you're definitely leading from the front, and your kids are watching, right?
Sure.
So absolutely great touch there. So you are like a book assembly line. Like every time I turn around, there's a new book that you've written that's going out there. Tell me of okay, so what's the latest one? And do you have a favorite?
So these on the wall, so there's the Miracle Morning, there's the Miracle Equation, and then all of the series books I co-authored. So I don't have the same ownership, right? My co-author, Honore Corder, she helped me with that series. And then each book was co-authored by an expert in their space. Yeah. The newest book, and this is very exciting. This is 11 years in the making. It's the Miracle Morning updated and expanded edition. So I rewrote the original book. I added 70 pages of new content. And so the book that has sold over 2 million copies, this new edition, it's available right now for pre-order. You can go to thenewmiraclemorning.com and get a bunch of bonuses. So you get an immediate implementation kit that gives you a 60-minute video masterclass, a bunch of cool bonuses. But yeah, this is my life's work if I got a chance to do it over again. Right? You look back at things in your life and you're like, oh man, I was so naive when I did that thing. I was so immature. I've learned so much since then. If only I could do it over again. Right? And then that's what this is. Like, I got to go back and rewrite every single page of the book, add all of the new content that I would have added if I even knew about it 15, years ago when I started writing it. And yeah, so this is right now really exciting. It actually comes out on December 12th. But again, a bunch of bonuses when you pre-order it today. So
that's awesome, man. We'll definitely do that, and we'll put the link below in the chat and get that out there in the community. The as you've written these books, how have you evolved with everything you're sharing? How is being such a well-known author, 2 million copies, how has that changed you?
I think the way that I've evolved is by paying attention to the people that I talk to and paying attention to the Miracle Morning community members, right? So there's millions of Miracle Morning practitioners around the world, and there's a Facebook group called the Miracle Morning Community with 350,000 people in it. And I'm always just interacting, reading comments, engaging. And I think that when I was new, my first Miracle Morning, before it was even called the Miracle Morning, it was 60 minutes. I wasn't a morning person, but I was so desperate in my life that I thought, I've got to wake up earlier and I've got to try this out. Like, I got to change something or my life's going to just keep struggling. And so for me, it was kind of this all or nothing pursuit because I was so desperate. And now, like, when I give a speech on the Miracle Morning, which that's the speech I still give 11 years later, it's my life's work. That's the speech I give every time I speak, a few times a month usually. I used to end it with, hey, wake up 60 minutes earlier tomorrow and do all 6 of the savers. And then I realized I was setting a lot of people up for failure because that was overwhelming. It's like, I've never done one of these and I'm not a morning person. How am I going to wake up an hour earlier and do all 6? And just because I was able to do it doesn't mean that it's, that's going to be easy. And so now when I end the speech, I say, hey, if you want to do what I did, if you want to get up an hour earlier and do all 6 of the savers, like, more power to you, but I'm not asking you and do that. In fact, I'm encouraging you to wake up 10 minutes earlier. 10 minutes earlier and do one of the savers and do the one you're most excited about. Or what a lot of people do is, if they've never read the Miracle Morning, or if they've read the original, but like now they've got the expanded edition, all they do is wake up 10 or 15 minutes earlier and do the R in savers, which stands for reading. So think how easy that is. It's like, okay, I'll wake up 15 minutes earlier. It's not that hard. It's not a big deal. And all you're going to do is start reading the Miracle Morning, the new edition. And by the way, when you pre-order the book, you get a 40-page digital preview. So you can immediately start reading it. You don't have to wait for it to arrive in the mail. But so you start reading it. And then let's say on maybe it's day 4, you get to the chapter on silence. And then your next Miracle Morning, you add in a few minutes of meditation or prayer of silence, the way I talk about it in the book. Then you get to the chapter on affirmations and you add affirmations in, and so on and so forth for all the savers. So the point is, instead of like jumping off the cliff from, I'm not a morning person, I don't think I can be one, I've never been one, but now I've got to wake up an hour earlier and do all 6 of these, all you did was lean into it, right? Just baby step. Now I'll wake up like 10 minutes earlier, I'll read a few pages. If that feels good, I'll do it again. And now you're a week or so into it, and now you've added it into your morning to where now you've got a full-blown Miracle Morning. And maybe it's not an hour, maybe it's a 30-minute Miracle Morning, but you leaned into it, you baby stepped into it. So to me, that's the advice that I would give is really just, make it easy on yourself to start.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, all right, I promise you'll be done by 2. we've got 60 seconds left. I want you to bring us
I've
up.
got 2.5 minutes on I don't know what your clock says, man. I got 2.5 minutes.
You got it? Well, when I tell you, hey, you got 60 seconds left, it usually goes longer.
Oh yeah, I'm long-winded. That's good.
No, that's great, man. I think, I am super blessed. I'm super blessed for your friendship, that you cared enough to give me time. And Hal, you mean a lot to me. And I know we don't talk every day, but I think about you quite a bit. And I'm just really thankful for you being a great example for me to be able to be a better father, a better husband, and obviously a better person.
Awesome, brother. Well, you are a great human being, man. So if I've had any impact on that, I appreciate it, and it's reciprocal for sure. So thank you for how you show up for other people, Wally.
Awesome, man. Well, all right. So you're going to go out there, everybody, go out there and buy and pre-order the book. Number one. Number two, what else they can join your community?
Yeah, if you go to miraclemorning.com is a great hub because you can watch the Miracle Morning movie, which is a 90-minute documentary. It's very well done. It features Robert Kiyosaki and Brendan Burchard and Mel Robbins and Lewis Howes and Muhammad Ali's daughter, Layla Ali, and their morning routines. And then I got cancer halfway through filming. So you get to watch me fight for my life to beat cancer as the movie goes on. It's a really well done documentary. You can also download the Miracle Morning app for free at miraclemorning.com. So the movie's free, the app is free, the community you can join from there, that's free. The book, not free, but like $20 or whatever. It's a worthwhile investment. And so, yeah, I always say miraclemorning.com is a great hub. And if you guys want to pre-order the book, go to the new miraclemorning.com.
You're a blessing, man. Thank you so much for sharing your heart and all your wisdom. Love you very much and look forward to seeing you soon, Hal.
You too, Wally. Thanks, brother. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much for listening.
So thank you so much for listening today. It means a lot you took time out of your day. I don't take that lightly. Understand very clearly that you're very busy. With that being said, if you want to continue your journey and learn more about 24/7 Mindset, if you're on Facebook, which I'm going to guess you are, then go to 24/7 Mindset on Facebook and join the private community. I do coaching tips on there on a daily basis, but from scripts on there to systems on there, models, and the ability to be able to grow and scale a business while you have a quality of life. Hope to see you there.